stop everything you're doing right now, Dodgers fans, because what I'm about to tell you is not speculation, not wishful thinking, and definitely not some manufactured off-season rumor designed to generate clicks. This is real, this is happening, and this could be the move that puts the final piece in place for the Dodgers' historic quest to win 3 consecutive World Series championships. We're talking about a legitimate all-star caliber player who solves the team's biggest weakness, a guy who brings exactly the skill set this roster has been desperately missing, and someone who fits the Dodgers' championship culture like a perfectly tailored glove. The front office isn't just kicking tires on this one. They're actively engaged, aggressively pursuing, and according to multiple credible sources, they're one of the frontrunners to land this player in what could be the most important trade of the entire offseason. This isn't about adding another superstar to an already loaded lineup. This is about finding the perfect complementary piece, the smart baseball play that championship teams make when they identify a weakness and attack it with precision and purpose. And trust me when I tell you, this move makes so much sense from every conceivable angle that you'll wonder why it took this long to become a serious possibility. Before I reveal who this player is and break down exactly why he's the perfect fit for the Dodgers, I need you to do something for me right now. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update. We're on a mission to reach 12,000 subscribers, and we're so incredibly close that I can feel it. This channel exists because of fans like you who want real analysis, accurate information, and content that cuts through all the noise to give you what actually matters. So help us grow this community by engaging with this video right now. Drop a comment, share this with your fellow Dodgers fans, and let's build something special together. All right, here it is. The player the Dodgers are aggressively targeting in trade discussions is Brendan Donovan of the St. Louis Cardinals. And before you scroll past thinking this is just another name being thrown around without substance, let me tell you exactly why this is legitimate and why it's gaining serious momentum. Jon Morosi, one of the most respected and connected insiders in baseball, went on MLB Network's Hot Stove and explicitly confirmed that the Los Angeles Dodgers are among several teams with active, serious interest in trading for Donovan. This isn't some random blogger making stuff up. This is verified reporting from someone who has direct access to front office personnel and actually knows what's happening behind closed doors. The St. Louis Cardinals, under new leadership from President of Baseball Operations Chaim Bloom, are in the middle of a significant organizational reset. They're not calling it a complete rebuild because they still have talent on the roster, but they're absolutely open to moving veteran players, especially those entering arbitration and making significant money. Brendan Donovan, coming off his first All-Star season, fits that profile perfectly. His salary is about to increase substantially through the arbitration process, and the Cardinals, stuck in this uncomfortable middle ground between contending and rebuilding, are listening to offers. And the Dodgers are not just listening from a distance. They're actively engaged in serious conversations. Now let me tell you exactly who Brendan Donovan is and why he represents the perfect solution to the Dodgers' most pressing roster need. This is a 27-year-old left-handed hitter who just put together the best season of his young career. In 2025, Donovan slashed .287, .353, .417 across 151 games. Those numbers might not jump off the page like a 30 home run, 100 RBI season, but they represent exactly the kind of value championship teams need from their complementary players. That .353 on-base percentage is elite. It's not a fluke or a hot 2-month stretch. It's a full season of disciplined, mature plate appearances that demonstrate genuine hitting ability and baseball intelligence. Let's break down what those numbers actually mean in practical terms. Donovan racked up 32 doubles, showing gap-to-gap power and the ability to drive balls into the outfield consistently. He hit 10 home runs, proving he's not just a slap hitter who can only poke singles through the infield. He drove in 73 runs while scoring 65 himself, contributing to run production from multiple spots in the lineup. But more importantly than any of those counting stats, he simply doesn't give away outs. He works counts, forcing pitchers to throw extra pitches and make mistakes. He doesn't chase garbage out of the strike zone. He takes his walks when they're there, and he puts the ball in play with authority when he does swing. This is exactly the type of offensive approach that fits seamlessly into the Dodgers' philosophy. When you're building a lineup around megastars like Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, and Freddie Freeman, you need players who can get on base ahead of them and create opportunities for those big bats to drive in runs. You need guys who make the opposing pitcher work, who grind through at-bats, who force defenses to play perfect baseball because there are no easy outs. Brendan Donovan does all of that at an exceptionally high level, and he does it with remarkable consistency night after night throughout the entire season. But here's where this gets really interesting, and here's why Donovan represents such incredible value beyond just his offensive contributions. This guy is not a one-position player. He's not some defensive liability that you have to hide somewhere on the field and hope he doesn't cost you games with his glove. Brendan Donovan is legitimately versatile, capable of playing multiple positions at an above-average defensive level, and that kind of flexibility is absolutely invaluable to a team chasing championships. In 2025 alone, Donovan played 100 games at second base, 18 games in left field, and 6 games at shortstop. Over his career to this point, he's logged 163 games in left field, 30 in right field, and significant time all over the infield. This isn't a guy who can sort of fake it at different positions in emergency situations. He's actually good at multiple spots. His defensive metrics are solid across the board. He doesn't make mental mistakes. He takes good routes to balls in the outfield. His hands are reliable in the infield. His arm is accurate. He plays clean, fundamentally sound baseball that doesn't kill you with errors or bonehead plays that turn manageable situations into disasters. Think about what this means from a roster construction standpoint. The Dodgers could plug Donovan in at second base every single day and feel completely confident that they have a legitimate answer at a position that has been a revolving door of uncertainty for 2 straight seasons. But they could also move him to the outfield if someone gets hurt, or if matchups dictate a different configuration. They could even slide him to shortstop in a pinch if the situation called for it. That kind of defensive versatility is gold during the long grind of a 162-game season, and it becomes even more valuable in October when one injury or one lineup adjustment can mean the difference between advancing and going home. Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, absolutely loves players like this. He loves having options, flexibility, and the ability to match up favorably regardless of what the opposing team throws at him. Donovan gives him all of that and more. This is the type of player that championship teams are built around, the glue guys who do all the little things right, who never beat themselves, and who make everyone around them better just by executing their responsibilities perfectly every single night. Let's talk about the timing of this potential move, because that's absolutely critical to understanding why this makes so much sense right now. The Cardinals are in a fascinating position organizationally. They brought in Chaim Bloom, the former Red Sox executive who has a reputation for being analytically driven and willing to make tough decisions in pursuit of long-term success. Bloom is evaluating every aspect of the Cardinals' roster and farm system, and he's made it clear that virtually everyone is available at the right price. The Cardinals aren't bad enough to completely tear everything down and start from scratch, but they're also not good enough to reasonably expect to compete for championships in the immediate future. They're stuck in that uncomfortable middle ground that often forces teams to make difficult decisions about veteran players. Brendan Donovan, despite being only 27 years old, represents exactly the type of asset the Cardinals might be willing to move. He just made his first All-Star team, which means his arbitration salary is about to jump significantly. For a team trying to cut payroll and restock its farm system with young talent, trading Donovan makes logical sense even if it's not emotionally satisfying for Cardinals fans. He has real value across the league, he's under team control through 2027, and multiple contending teams are willing to pay a premium in prospects to acquire him. That's the perfect storm of circumstances that leads to trades getting done. The Dodgers find themselves in the opposite situation. They have championship aspirations right now, not 5 years from now. They have a core of superstars in their prime who are capable of winning multiple championships if surrounded by the right complementary pieces. They have one of the deepest farm systems in baseball, loaded with prospects who could headline trade packages without completely gutting the organization's future. And they have a glaring need at second base that has hampered their roster construction for 2 consecutive seasons. Brendan Donovan solves that problem immediately while also providing defensive flexibility and fitting perfectly into their championship timeline. Here's another huge advantage the Dodgers have in these trade discussions. They already have an established relationship with the St. Louis Cardinals from previous trades, most notably the 3-team deal in 2024 that brought Tommy Edman and Michael Kopech to Los Angeles. That trade worked out phenomenally well for the Dodgers, as Edman became a crucial contributor during their championship run. The Cardinals know that Andrew Friedman and the Dodgers front office operate with integrity, that they value prospects appropriately, and that they follow through on agreements. That existing relationship and trust matters significantly when negotiating trades, especially complicated ones involving multiple prospects and financial considerations. So what would the actual on-field impact be if the Dodgers successfully acquire Brendan Donovan? Let me paint this picture for you in vivid detail, because the implications are massive for how this roster would function heading into spring training. Immediately, you solve the second base problem that has plagued this team. No more uncertainty, no more wondering if Gavin Lux can finally stay healthy and produce consistently. No more piecing together platoons and hoping internal options magically develop into reliable everyday players. You get stability, reliability, and genuine production from a position that has been a black hole far too often over the past 2 years. Imagine the Dodgers lineup with Donovan slotting in at the top or second in the batting order. Picture him getting on base with that elite .353 OBP, working counts, forcing the opposing starter to labor through the first inning, and then turning the lineup over to Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, and Freddie Freeman with runners on base. That's a nightmare scenario for any pitcher in baseball. You can't pitch around Donovan because the guys hitting behind him will absolutely destroy mistakes. But you also can't just groove fastballs because Donovan has proven he can do damage when given pitches to hit. It creates this perfect offensive ecosystem where everyone benefits from each other's presence in the lineup. Defensively, the impact is equally significant. Donovan playing second base every day means Mookie Betts can focus entirely on playing his natural position without worrying about learning a new spot or adapting to different defensive responsibilities. It means the infield has consistency and familiarity, with players who know each other's tendencies, can turn double plays smoothly, and don't create communication breakdowns that lead to extra outs for opposing offenses. And if someone does get hurt or matchups dictate a different alignment, Donovan's versatility means Dave Roberts has options rather than being forced into uncomfortable choices that create defensive liabilities. Here's something else that doesn't show up in traditional statistics, but matters enormously to championship teams. Brendan Donovan has exceptional baseball IQ. He plays the game the right way. He takes extra bases when they're available, but doesn't run into stupid outs trying to do too much. He executes situational hitting, moving runners over and driving them in when the situation calls for it. He doesn't try to be a hero and swing for the fences in every at-bat. He understands that his role is to get on base, work counts, and create opportunities for the stars to do their damage. That kind of selfless, team-first mentality is exactly what defines championship cultures, and Donovan embodies it perfectly. When you're chasing 3 consecutive World Series titles, something that has only been accomplished once in the modern era by the late 1990s Yankees dynasty, every single detail matters. The difference between winning and losing close games often comes down to fundamentals, execution, and having players who simply don't beat themselves. Donovan is that kind of player. He's not going to single-handedly carry a team offensively, but he's also never going to be the reason you lose. He's going to show up every day, give you professional at-bats, play solid defense, and do all the little things that add up to wins over the course of a long season. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What would it actually take to acquire Brendan Donovan from the Cardinals? Obviously, St. Louis isn't going to just give away a 27-year-old all-star with 3 years of team control remaining. They're going to demand legitimate prospect capital in return, and the Dodgers are going to have to be willing to part with some valuable pieces from their farm system. But here's the key consideration. This isn't going to require the Dodgers to trade their absolute top-tier, untouchable prospects. Chaim Bloom and the Cardinals front office are realistic about Donovan's value. He's a very good player, but he's not a franchise-altering superstar. The asking price should be reasonable and within the Dodgers' comfort zone. You're probably looking at a trade package built around mid-level prospects, guys who are close to the major leagues and have real upside but aren't considered elite, can't-miss talents. Maybe a pitching prospect in the upper levels of the minors who could contribute in the next year or two. Maybe a position player with intriguing tools who needs more development time. Maybe another lottery ticket type player with high ceiling but more risk. The exact details would obviously depend on negotiations between the two front offices, but the framework of a deal is absolutely achievable without completely gutting the Dodgers farm system or sacrificing their ability to make future moves. This is where Andrew Friedman's brilliance as a general manager really shines through. He understands that prospect capital is valuable, but it's only truly valuable if you convert it into major league talent that helps you win championships. Hoarding prospects and refusing to ever trade them is not a winning strategy if you have championship windows open right now. The key is identifying the right trades at the right times, targeting players who genuinely improve your team without overpaying, and maintaining enough organizational depth that you can continue to compete sustainably into the future. A trade for Brendan Donovan checks all of those boxes perfectly. The other teams reportedly interested in Donovan include the New York Mets, New York Yankees, Philadelphia Phillies, and Houston Astros. That's some serious competition, all teams with deep pockets and strong farm systems capable of putting together compelling offers. But the Dodgers have advantages over all of them. They have that existing relationship with St. Louis from previous trades. They have a farm system ranked among the best in baseball with depth at multiple positions. They have a proven track record of player development that might make certain prospects more appealing to the Cardinals. And they have the most immediate, obvious roster fit for Donovan's skill set, which might matter if Donovan has any say in where he ends up through trade protections or informal discussions. Here's another factor that shouldn't be overlooked. The Dodgers can offer Donovan something that most other teams can't: the opportunity to win multiple championships over the next several years. This isn't a team that's hoping to maybe make the playoffs and see what happens. This is a franchise actively chasing a three-peat, something that would cement their place in baseball history forever. For a player like Donovan, who has experienced winning in St. Louis but never been to a World Series, the chance to be part of something truly historic has to be appealing. That doesn't necessarily give the Dodgers leverage in trade negotiations, but it might make Los Angeles Donovan's preferred destination if multiple offers are relatively equal. Let me also address the financial component because that's always part of these discussions. Donovan is currently under team control through 2027, meaning the Dodgers wouldn't just be acquiring him for one season. They'd be getting him for multiple years during their championship window, providing stability and value that extends well beyond 2026. Yes, his salary will increase through arbitration as he accumulates more service time and establishes a track record of performance, but he's not going to become prohibitively expensive. The Dodgers have consistently shown willingness to invest in players who help them win, and Donovan's projected arbitration salaries over the next few years are completely manageable for an organization of their financial resources. This is the type of move that defines successful franchises. It's not flashy. It's not going to generate the same headlines as signing a superstar free agent to a massive contract. It's not going to make casual fans rush out and buy jerseys. But it's the kind of smart, strategic, value-driven acquisition that wins championships. It addresses a genuine need without creating new problems. It fits both the immediate competitive timeline and the long-term organizational philosophy. It's exactly the move you'd expect from one of the best front offices in baseball, and it's exactly the type of player who becomes invaluable during championship runs. Dodgers fans, I'm telling you right now with complete conviction that this move makes perfect sense from every conceivable angle. Brendan Donovan solves the second base problem. He provides defensive versatility. He brings elite on-base skills and professional at-bats. He fits the championship culture. He's under team control for multiple years, and the price to acquire him, while not insignificant, is absolutely reasonable, given what he brings to the table. If Andrew Friedman can get this deal done, it represents exactly the kind of smart, calculated move that separates good teams from great ones and great teams from dynasty-level franchises. So here's what I need from you right now. Drop a comment and tell me your honest thoughts about trading for Brendan Donovan. Are you all in on this move? Do you think he's the perfect solution at second base? Would you be comfortable giving up mid-level prospects to acquire him? Where would you bat him in the lineup? I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know where Dodgers Nation stands on this, because the community we're building here is special, and your voices matter. And if you found value in this breakdown, if you appreciate the detailed analysis that goes beyond surface-level hot takes, then do me a favor and smash that like button right now. Share this video with your fellow Dodgers fans who need to know what's actually happening with this team. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because this offseason is far from over and there are going to be more moves, more rumors, and more developments that you absolutely need to stay informed about. We're building something incredible here, a community of passionate, knowledgeable Dodgers fans who love this team, understand the game, and want real analysis rather than clickbait nonsense. Help us reach that 12,000 subscriber milestone by engaging with this content and spreading the word. This is where you come for the truth, for the details that matter, and for coverage that treats you like the intelligent baseball fan you are. The Brendan Donovan trade talks are real. The Dodgers are actively pursuing him. And if this deal gets done, it could be the final piece that pushes this team over the top in their quest to make history. Stay locked in, stay engaged, and let's ride this championship journey together. This is Dodgers baseball, and the best is yet to come. Let's go Dodgers!